They give you a chance. It don't work, they're out. Peace from the Tanya 23 experience. Yes. I hope everyone is well this Sunday evening. And we're back. Me and Brother Wizzy, we have decided, Rizzy Riz, excuse me, me and Brother Rizzy Riz has decided to tackle this questions about what in the world is going on where these relationships are turning into murder. And it's really multiplying a lot. And so we thought it not robbery to come on and attack layers of relationships and how could they possibly come to that, come to murder. And so this is the Tiny 23 experience for this Sunday evening. Brother Rizzy, how are you?
Good. Greetings, greetings.
Great. You can hear me. All the audio and everything is good. We are
Yeah.
ready. We have a short, I believe it's video. If not, I'll read the article about the actual incident that we're going to go into. And just want to give a disclaimer, it is graphic because it has to do with, a child being harmed in a domestic situation. It's a national news situation. So, what we say, guard your heart and let's take a look at what we're going to discuss tonight. Let's see, we have this here.
Year-old Latoya Harris and her boyfriend, 41-year-old Terrence Washington, are both behind bars in Louisiana tonight. They're likely on a path straight to hell, and you will agree. This is after Harris's 15-year-old daughter was severely abused by the couple at their home in Terrebonne Parish, just outside of New Orleans. How bad was the abuse? Investigators say Washington shot the teen on 2 different occasions with a shotgun. One time in the chest. Police say he also raped her. And in order to cover that crime up, the teen's mother set her on fire, blaming her, and also never getting her a treatment for the gunshot wounds. The damage was so bad, the teenager lost half of her face and one of her eyes. She remains hospitalized after all of this was uncovered during a car accident in Baytown, nearly 300 miles from their home in Thibodaux, Louisiana. And joining us on the Factor Uncensored tonight, we have with us Ashlyn Brothers, who is a reporter for Fox 8 in New Orleans, WBUE TV. Ashlyn, thank you for joining us. Such a tragic situation that we have here with this 15-year-old who is from Louisiana and, of course, got into an accident here. And that's why investigators found out that she was in distress and abused. But take us to the beginning. How did we get here?
Yeah, so initially what police say is that this had been going on for months, right? The alleged abuse, the buried abuse, if you will, had been going on dating back to around February, what we call carnival season, when police say that there was distress within the household.
And right. Of course, we're talking about her mother and her mother's boyfriend.
Yes. So she lived in a home with them. And from what I've been told by relatives, she had moved in about a year and a half before these incidents. So she hadn't been living there for too long. But what we've been told by police is that that's when, things started to go awry. That's when police say that the boyfriend admitted to sexually abusing the girl for numerous accounts, right? And then at that point, police say that the mother then burned the girl and the police say that this was something that she was doing as a sort of cover up for what had happened. Police also say that the mother blamed the 15-year-old for the incidents that had occurred. It wasn't until the shooting incident where police say that the boyfriend shot the 15-year-old on 2 different occasions that then they took off for Texas.
That is incredible. So the mother burned the girl, according to police, in order to cover up her being sexually assaulted by her boyfriend, according to investigators, right?
That is, to my understanding, I would have to check back with that, but yes, that to my understanding, that's what police say.
Do we know who the 15-year-old was living with before she went back to the home with her mother and her mother's boyfriend? Who was she living with then?
So here at my station, we've been very delicate with how we've been phrasing this, and we have spoken with the relatives who she was living with before. We have decided to call them relatives, very close family members. Yeah.
And they're the couple.
Gruesome. And so clearly, when you look at the parents, you can see that they're out, they're gone. The mother was totally mentally ill and didn't look like she could be capable of reasoning quite well. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was on her mind? Like, that's not what you do. Like, that was totally off kilter, you know? He's obviously a mutt and mentally ill, and they should have never had custody of her. But apparently, other people knew what was happening. This had been going on for a while and was actually allowed to persist. And so now you're like, what kind of world is this? Isn't that like cause for kicking the door, waving the 4-4, get the child, rescue her, get her to somewhere safe? All of a sudden, these criminals have rights that harm kids. Like, don't get me wrong. Everyone has a right to their child, but not when you're abusing them. And the mother clearly couldn't think right to take it out on the child rather than take it out on the guy. Probably scared of him. You know, he rapes the child, so he'd definitely be beating on the mama, probably. She knows it's going on. It's just very sad, but they do deserve to be prosecuted, you know, and thank goodness the baby didn't die. That's the main thing. Like, what a miracle. You know, miracles do happen, because I don't think anything happens for no reason. It's a reason that child made it. It's a reason these things are being exposed to the world, to the rest of us, that these things are going on. And it's almost like the universe is saying, okay, you guys, we're going to keep hitting you with all this exposure until you rise up. And the planet's heating up. It really is. The UV was like 8 on 8 today, and it was like cloudy and casty. But it was still up there at 8. That's high for UV index. Planet's heating up with all this crap going on. I mean, it is really going on. But that was the main thing for the prayer thing this week, was for families to try to stay together and for relationships to, be worked on, and offer some sort of tips and things that people can do. But it all depends on what level you're in, because if you're in deep, like, you need professional help. You got all these gurus and everybody out here talking about their relationship specialists, but when you're dealing with the mental illness with it, we have to be careful. You might as well refer them to quote unquote professionals, because then you have incidents like this. And I wouldn't want to be trying to help no family, and then some shit like this happens, and then everybody want to be like, oh, they was under her care, and she told me she was helping them with holistic this and that and that and this. Ignorant people, how they talk about things they don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be attached to anything like that. So even the light workers and the helpers have to be careful. You have to know rights, rules, all sorts of things when you are saying that you are assisting others with this. They make it all flighty and whatnot, but it gets deep, more like a ghost busting situation. But yeah, like, that's what people be needing, that, because that was totally demonic. Most likely like that, somebody that came in the household that was trying to make things right, that father wouldn't have liked that, and you'd had him to deal with. And who needs that shit? You know what I'm saying? It would be up to you at that point. Did you want to further deal with that situation? What you can do is let the authorities know the child is being abused. Like, that is your responsibility. Now, I know we don't like dealing with them like that, and unless you have other options set up, but that's the protocol. You know what I'm saying? So what you think, Brother Rizzy? It's a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They had to have some sort of a relationship for her to even go against her own child for this guy. What in the hell was he doing with her? What was he saying to her? But clearly, like I said, there was a lot of mental illness going on both ends. You know what I mean?
Drugs, drugs,
Yeah, that too.
drugs.
Yep. That coupled with, that's probably what made the mental illness come about, But in America, they used to have all these programs for different things if you were in some trouble, especially if you were a woman. But I do not think, with that this administration have kept those programs open. So really right now, it's just every person for themselves. Only the strong will survive out here. And I'm interested on how our people are staying strong. Let's see if I can see if anyone on YouTube, you really just get to chat people when you go live direct. Whenever we're on this thing right here, it's like, I don't know, go live and you do. But they gotta stop killing the babies. So they're gonna start chopping your heads, and they're looking for a reason to do that anyway.
They're using people against people to have reason to do what they doing to people. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're letting a set of people kill a set of people to have a reason to kill them set of people.
Right. And then you got all these things working against you in your relationship. A sacred bond. You have demonic sacred bonds. You have all these movies out where the women were so into the men that they didn't care about the children, they didn't care about themselves, they didn't care about anybody but that relationship. And that always intrigued me like, wow. I just
But
always said,
you
I
gotta
never
pay attention
seen
to the
that in
movies.
myself at all.
They make movies and they do that kind of stuff because
Yeah, he
the
like
more you see the
preconditioning.
movies, the more you see the movies, the more you kind of like you're supposed to watch the movies and like see what's going on and see what's happening in front of you. But the more people watch these movies and they see these things, the more they become these things.
Yeah, and they
So
think
they're
they
not
can
just
be
watching the movie;
them.
they're actually doing what they see on the movie. That's the
Yeah,
problem. They're doing what they see on the movie.
that is a lot of influence. They're doing what they see in the movies. They're doing what they hear in the music.
Yeah, the
It's just
media.
crazy.
Everything is the media. The media has the media. The media is the weapon. That's the biggest. That's the biggest weapon that they have is the media.
Right, for sure. The biggest. It's like it was crazy like that day that the Diddy video came out. It was just like bum 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 4 o'clock news.
But
You
we
seen him
already knew
running down
what it
and they shot
was.
on. I'm like, wow. It just showed the power of whoever owns media. They can make whatever happen. You know what I'm saying? When they want it to happen. You know, that was hot off the
As
presses.
long
Like,
as it
wow.
ain't about them, yeah, it's about somebody else. They don't care. But
Right. Just like it was crazy because I'm finding out that same day that video was released to distract us, um,
what was going on?
President President Biden's
What did you do?
son, President Biden's son, um, no, his daughter's diary had got stolen and sold by this girl, but it had all this information in it about when he
Yeah, and they didn't want that leak, so they threw something out to keep him
right.
off.
Exactly. But that was the biggest news because she's talking about some little pedo situations. Yeah. So
Nah,
they
because guess what? I'm about to put you on game. Let me show you what's
mhm,
going on. We in the
break it
sixth month.
down, break it down.
We in the 6 month, right? 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
the Gemini month. Geminis
Mm,
are known to be two-faced, aka you got two, so it's so it would be bipolar. So a lot of bipolar things are gonna happen in this month. You gotta pay
mm,
attention to what's going on. A lot of
yeah.
that stuff gonna happen. This is Kendrick month, so Kendrick exposing a lot of the stuff.
Oh wow, it's the
And
Gemini month.
Kendrick,
That's right. Now,
yeah, so
isn't Trump a Gemini?
he probably is. He might be. So some of them, matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. Matter of fact, can you look it up if you got a second? Just look it up because I don't think I can go and look it up. It might throw me out the thing. He might be. I'm not sure. But this is the month for expose. They're exposing. They're exposing people this month. If you're not on point, everything's come out and they deal with communication. Gemini's an air sign, so in dealing with communication, a lot of things are going to be exposed.
Right. Well, there certainly is a lot of exposure going on. I mean, as we speak, there's articles rolling, and I said
But you got to
I
pay
read this.
attention too to who getting exposed. These are dark
Mhm.
Scorpios. They're exposing dark Scorpios. We Scorpios, but we're not on the dark side of it. Hey, Diddy a
Right.
Scorpio. He's a dark Scorpio. Drake's a Scorpio. He's
Yes,
a
and
dark
so is
Scorpio.
Drake. Right, right.
They're
And
dark
so is
Scorpios getting exposed.
you heard that story about the Prince Charles. He was doing so bad, but he was doing good enough to get up to see that bloody looking picture that they made of him or whatever. And that was some occultish picture. But he's a Scorpio too.
Oh, Prince Charles is? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot going on with the Scorpio men. you know.
No, the dark energy of the Scorpio man. The man that's on the dark
Right,
side of that energy.
right. The ones exactly, the ones that have not controlled their dark side, I haven't done that shadow work that they, because it's a
Yep.
continuous shadow work
It,
for them. It's a
and it's going
lifelong
it's going to
shadow
show
work.
it's going to keep showing up because we rule by the planet Pluto and Mars, and
Uh,
Pluto it puts things into transformation quick, fast, and in a hurry. So
Actually,
everything being exposed, you gotta remember Pluto's in retrograde right now. So that's why they're getting fucked up. Oops,
yeah,
excuse my French. Excuse my
yeah,
French.
yeah,
Pluto's in retrograde right now. That's why everybody getting messed up.
exactly. Yes. And that's the thing. It's in retrograde, but it's in our solar system for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
It and it comes through. It affects things for a long time. So for 20 years, yeah. So I guess you can be able to put things on freeze and then go to Mars and heat it up. So the Scorpions kind of like we have to do our shadow work and be focused on the right
Telling them
decision.
if you
We in
ain't
fact,
doing your shadow, like
yeah,
you're
we
in
got
trouble.
that karmic thing because our karma, like me, when I was younger, if I were to do anything, my karma would go right, come back real quick. I was like, good, I don't have
Pluto.
to like, people that can keep doing fucked up shit for a long time, excuse my
And it
language,
build up.
and
It
something
build up.
never happened to them, but not me.
It builds up.
I learned my lessons. That's why I'm the Tiny 23 experience, yo. Times 23, because yeah, I learned a lot. I'm
So
not that old, but I'm wise. One thing.
you gotta pay attention. There's a lot of things going on too. So you got a lot of people being exposed. But what it is right now is the money really don't mean anything anymore because we now know that the money don't have a true value. So by not having a true value, people don't really care anymore. People coming out and they saying what they gotta say. Like perfect examples. You got all these allegations. You got P. Diddy with the whole Cassie thing. He been
Mm,
settled that in a lawsuit, but people just seeing it. So to the public, it's new. He feel like, God, I didn't pay my money and settle this, but bro, it's people been looking at you as a monster for a long time.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, Jay-Z right behind him.
Yes, they still got stories coming out about Diddy. I'm just like, wow.
Jay-Z ain't too far behind him.
Well,
Jay-Z
it's
right
like
behind him.
he's the one that they're gunning for. So he's been quiet lately.
Oh yeah, he
But
right behind him.
oh yeah.
You don't get it. They don't get away. All like
Oh, that's what it
every
was. Let me see. Do I have a thing? Oh man. How can I get up here? I have a picture of his son that I was listening to an interview. Maybe I can show it. And he's been denying him. This is his firstborn heir. Wait a minute. He looks just like him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's his firstborn heir.
I see it. I see him.
And his voice sounds exactly like him. He was on TashaK.com. She has a website. So that's what we need to be doing. She takes people from YouTube and goes over to her website. Like I have a website that we can host up to 250 people, but we have the social media thing where we could go live. So we could, do the same thing. And that's the goal. I'll have
Yeah,
everything set.
yeah.
Go right over there and sign up. I will have the link in my YouTube. I just did a link tree because I have all these links. So I did a link tree and I'll be hooking that up to my YouTube page so we can access and everything. Yes, ain't that something? But I was also listening to an interview with the young lady that got shot by P. Diddy. She's saying that he shot her in the face with this shine thing that happened at the club with J-Lo. And so she's speaking out for some of the first times. What a testimony. She got messed up. And like she's saying that she saw the gunshot point blank to her face and she knows who shot her. She actually won a huge cash settlement from him because she was really injured really bad. Like she was lucky to be alive. She got shot in the face. He shot her in the face, yo. In the face, son.
Mm-hmm.
and
Nah,
he paid
what?
for that. But that story didn't really leak out too much like that. But because the guy Shine went to jail.
Nah, took the cover for him.
But even now, Shine is talking. You know, he did his time and he came out and told the truth. Like, wow, there's a lot going on. But that's the big distraction. You know, us as people, we have to think about what we're gonna do because did you hear about the bank that exploded? Now we're gonna tie this into relationships and murder. We working our way up to it. We're doing something here because we're
How
going
did
to
the
whip
bank
this right
explode?
back around. Remember, in Cincinnati, right after the Baltimore bridge exploded, well,
Yeah.
got hit and collapsed, right? Well, after that, they exploded it to try to move the pieces out, which made the air quality worse, bad for some days. And then in Cincinnati's, a Chase Bank exploded from the basement. It was apartments on top and the bank at the bottom. At the
Now I got a
bottom.
good question to ask.
hmm That's symbolic too.
In 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 them doing these places that they're picking to do these things, what culture lives there? What culture, like, have you ever looked into that? What is the
With
culture of people that live there in that area? What is the predominant culture?
um in Cincinnati, regular people, but they're Masonic. It's heavily Masonic, if that's what you're getting at. Yeah. You know, like the office building.
Regular people. I'm trying to find out they 9 eater or 6 eater. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
probably more six, but there is a few
More
nine.
6 eater.
Yeah.
So
But
they doing
Ohio
that to
is
they
big.
self then.
But Ohio is big. And, you know, of course, there's a large population of Black people in concentrated areas.
Yeah. And
That's
I know
Cincinnati. That's
Sin City that have a lot of 9 eater people.
um this happened. What was the name of the town where this happened? It wasn't the capital. I might have been Cincinnati. I don't know if you ever heard of Dolo the Pilot Man, but he was able to
Of
go.
course,
All
Flight
right, that's
Balls. I used
right.
to watch Flight Balls. I
Yeah,
don't watch them no more
absolutely.
like that, but I know
Well,
Flight
you
Balls.
know,
Yeah.
that's
I'm in
where
a
he's
group. I'm in a
from.
chat group from Flight. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, me
Dolo
too.
he from Ohio. He from
Yeah,
Youngstown
that's
or
my
something
boy.
like
Like,
that.
I messed with him on
I
the
used to listen to Dolo.
Yeah. So
Yeah, all right.
he lives out there in Ohio. So he went there
Yeah.
live, yo, and showed us like live on his cell phone and whatnot how the shit blew up. So he lived out there. So he's 1-9 that's out there, you know. So, you
That's
know,
why I asked you
I don't know
where.
about
That's why
everybody
I
else.
asked you what are the people? Cause he from somewhere out there in Ohio, and I stayed in Ohio for a little bit, but it was Toledo. I got family out in Ohio too. I just
Mhm.
don't know him like that.
Right. You know, so that was that. But I took that when I saw it on the news. I took it as okay, this economy is about to crash. The dollar is done. That's what it looked like.
It's
Like
been done.
I saw it
It
clear as
been
day,
done since the 70s. It just lingered out this long.
but
It
it's
it
done.
played out till it couldn't play out no more.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when you chop the head off of a lizard or you chop the tail off and it's still moving. Yeah, that's what happened. They cut it off the gold. They cut the thing off the gold dollar, and it been moving since. But it been moving differently.
hmm
It been moving until it can't move no more. Ain't got no life to it no more. You can't bring it back to life. It dead now.
Yeah, you know. So that's that. And like you said, people are starting to see it's about who you are, your personality, what your gifts and talents are, how you can utilize them, materialize them, make them work. Got to tap in. You know, you have to now. Everyone's being forced to look into their spiritual life,
They
their
got to.
relationships,
When you
family.
got people like
Mhm.
TD Jakes getting caught up, yeah.
You
Oh,
see
y'all
how
want to
his
sit back and listen to
police
these
kept it.
people on the TV?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
see how many people packing that he can get to follow his words and listen to what he say, and we're way more wise than him, and we have to go through all of these things for people to try to listen to us. But that is getting ready to change, because the first is going to be last, and the
And the
last is going.
last shall be first.
That's right.
What was
And that
last shall be first and what was first shall be
they
last?
are moving their asses out the way now. All the ones, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
You're getting exposed.
Exactly. So, and it's crazy how the sun is constantly putting out these serious M class, X class flare. It's just like rapidly one after another. And every time somebody's ass is like up in smoke. So I'm trying to be a good girl. I said, listen, I got too much to do. I'm trying to be successful. So nobody move, nobody get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Don't bother me in a bad way, and I will bother you in a bad way. My intentions are always good. Not you, but people or
I
whatever.
don't know what you mean.
In the world, my place in the world. The goddess is always about love. But sometimes that looks another way when you have to defend yourself, and you must defend yourself in this world. Let people know where you stand or not, but with all this politic crap, I said, I'm definitely not getting caught up in none of those conversations with none of these people that I don't know. Nah, I'd rather not. I'm just protecting my energy at this time. Because, they got the red. As you know, we're in the purple, but they got the red and the blue, but we're on the purple.
Like in between.
We on our crown chakra shit, period. you know, and it takes a lot for a person to pull themselves away from the matrix. That's what it is. They be so caught up so deep in that web, and then when they meet someone that's not, you got to go through this whole checklist to prove yourself. No, you're the one in the matrix. I mean, no matter how we say we're
Matrix.
not in the matrix,
But
at the end of the day, we're all in the matrix.
Matrix, man,
Their
because you gotta
perspectives.
remember Matrix because you're going from spring to summer. So some
Mm,
people don't know if it's getting hotter or if it's getting cooler.
cooler. Yeah,
They
right.
don't know.
Some it
Matrix,
is, depending on where they are.
metaphorically speaking, it's the Matrix, but may also tricks because you're going in the gym. So
Yeah.
the weather got something to do with it too, man. Because they don't know whether it's getting cooler or hotter. They don't know whether
And
because
you
they don't know
notice
whether.
it could be real hot. Next thing you know, it's a cool breeze. You be like, hey, wait,
Right,
it's like fall out
right.
there right now.
Feel like fall, but nah, it's time to rise up.
Like right now, it's perfect out there. Like, oh my God.
I feel like we about to go back in the fall. They tricking you. They give you they give you the
Well,
weather they want to give you.
you notice, and I track it, so I notice that on the days when they're getting ready to hit us with all this crazy ass news, they light up
It's
on the
hot as
sky
shit.
spray. They light up on the sky spray, because if they spray that sky spray and then hit them people with that news, they're gonna go bonkers. And then when everywhere you go, how's your mental health? How your mental health? Like, I see the whole psyops. That's why people got to do detox with their brain. Got to do ginkgo biloba. Get your hands on some the
Ginkgo.
herb,
Yeah, they don't know about that
all
Ginkgo.
that shit, and just drink it. Just boil it and drink it. Boil it and drink it. Get it in the tea bags. Get it in the herbs. However you get it and drink it, because they have it in vitamins and all of that. But you have to take care of your brain neurons right now, because they are attacking them. The food is low quality. We eating fruits and vegetables,
Better
but
get
I
a
really
better
wonder
get eat a
how
watermelon once a
many.
week or a cantaloupe once a week
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
honeydew once a week.
definitely
All
stick
you
with
need is
those
one
two
once a week.
once a week. Yep. Get you a either some coconut water, something like that. But the watermelon thing is the bomb, because I tell you what I did. My husband found a seeded watermelon, which I got to find out what store he went to, because I'm getting ready to hit them up
Might
again
as well get
tomorrow.
the seeds and start planting the seeds.
Listen, I freaking put my blender on the highest thing, and I put the whole watermelon in there with the seeds and all, because I really want the seed stuff, the
Save
nutrients.
some of the seeds.
Blended all, yeah, that too. I got some in the ground already, but I blended them damn seeds up, and then I got my strainer, strained it. You couldn't even see nothing. I was like, wow, we got
The
the
seed
benefits from
oil.
seeds and everything. Yeah.
You wanted
No,
the seed oil.
the juice. We put it in the blender.
Yeah, but the seed has an oil
So
in it,
that's a
so it's the
good
seed
detox.
oil.
Yeah, that
Yeah, the
too. Right,
seed oil
right.
because I'm into, but I need a press is seed oils. We get like a
Yo,
papaya seed oils and different things. You press, and what you do with that, like say somebody got tapeworms or something, you'll make them
yeah,
like a salad and you add it to the vinaigrette and you mix it in
yeah,
and tell them, all right, it's $30. That's gonna
right.
cost you $30 for that meal.
Listen, that is medicinal food. Yo, that's the dope
Yeah.
idea.
You
Cut.
know what's so
Don't even
crazy?
mix
I have
it like
all these
that.
ideas.
Don't
I
even
just don't
mix
have the
that.
machine and the technology, the things I need. And guess what? The
That's
working world
fire,
that I'm
yo.
in, I need to get out of this working world because it's taking away my time from me occupying into those things that
Listen,
I have
listen,
ideas for.
listen, my brother, Scorpio to Scorpio, we got the ideas of a freaking lifetime. That one, that's why I said cut. Sit on that. Don't even mention it no more. They'll have to run the tape back to figure out what you said. But hold that, because that one, that's fire right there. That's fire. The medicinal food. Oh man, you touched my heart with
Yeah,
that one.
it's something I've been wanting to put into
Salad with
progress, but
medicinal stuff, and can you imagine that, like in a holistic place where you can come and have those holistic foods and
yep,
have your Reiki sessions and your sound bowls and all of this stuff. Listen, that's fire though.
make
That's
it
super.
happen.
I
You got
see
to
a
get
whole
away from working
entire
for
business
people.
with that medicinal food that you can come and have lunch and get rid of whatever it is that you have. That's so fire, yo. Yeah, I definitely see that.
They won't even know what's in the food. They won't even taste it. It tastes like regular food. Like what happened?
Eat it, you know. They have to know though, like legally, they have to know, but
No,
they
they
know it
gonna know, but they're
feeling
not going. They taste it. They gonna like, well, this tastes
you get to
regular. What
eat
did
it
you do?
because that's the thing too. You get to eat it and not think about it and see the subconscious healing effect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna heal them whether they're thinking about it or not. Or they can add the intention to it and eat it, knowing that they're eating medicine.
And it might help quicker. It might
Yeah,
work a little faster.
yeah, yeah. You know, it might. We have that power, but it's still a wonderful idea. Whether they do it or not, the medicine heals. So all they got to do is eat it, to tell you the truth. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I like about it. I don't have to do no, you don't pray to the lavender. You don't have to say, heal me and all this other stuff, because that's what it does and it knows its job. You understand what I mean?
Not
Programmed
like how you
already.
pray the food. You got to program the food that's
Right,
going in your
right.
body because it
You're
don't have any
programmed for
natural
some
healing
shit you ain't supposed
properties.
to have, right? You program that, right? People trying to program burgers. Nah.
Nah, program
You
things
know,
that shouldn't be
you
in your
know what
system.
it has come to do, okay? Pre-programmed. That's too funny.
Yeah, nah, it makes you laugh when you sit back and you watch soul food, all the shit they was eating. Oh, God bless this food and then the game. You about to die. All
Had
that stuff you eat,
diabetes and all kind
that
of high blood
diabetic
pressure
food.
of sweet ass candy yams. That ain't no roasted sweet potatoes is the bomb with some good, like some sweet cinnamon butter or whatever. Or
Yeah,
there's so many things
yeah,
you can do.
it's
Leave the
addictive.
corn, fructose syrup alone. You know,
You know, they had them pork
we ain't
chops and
bad
all that
mouthing
stuff there
nobody.
in that video. You just
Yeah,
like, I never did get that. Like, as we slowly healing, and you look at black people and you say, wow, we had a million things on that table. Like, we didn't need one protein. One protein wasn't good enough, huh? You gotta have the
really.
pork chop and the
The
chicken
ham
and the
and the
turkey and the
turkey,
ham.
a roast beef, and a that's a lot of meat. I only need one meat, yo.
And you still got the potato salad, the macaroni
That's
and
a filling.
cheese.
That's filling on its own. You know what I'm saying? Because they get all that shit on their plate and then can't finish it. And that's why they got
No.
to take you home and to go plate and all of this.
And I
Then
never
they
did
add
understand
more
where the
on top of
cranberries
that.
fit in with it. The cranberries what cleans you out. So
Yeah,
why
that's
you
the
put that in
only
there?
that's the most nutritious thing in a whole meal. It's the cranberry
The
sauce.
cranberry. And a lot
And
of people don't like that.
maybe the lemonade they made to wash it down.
A lot of people don't like cranberry sauce. They don't want it. Don't put
That's
it on their
crazy.
plate.
I can't eat no stuffing without it, yo.
I don't want no
And my
cranberry. Don't put
cornbread
that on my
stuffing,
plate.
it's good though. It's delicious though. I got my recipe from my mom, but we don't eat it like that. Maybe once a year because my husband he loves traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and he will make the
Oh,
whole thing
I've
by himself.
readjusted it.
I
I've
make it.
readjusted the traditional. I've broke it down to like a vegan style.
That yo, that's
I've
what I'm
done
gonna
that.
try.
It everything can be converted,
Yes, I
and
want
that's
to
why
try
I have my
vegan mac and
buzz.
cheese so bad. You got to give me a recipe for vegan mac and cheese.
It's
But
easy, you know. You got that cast that what I do, vegan mac and cheese is gonna be a little different because mine's on is more like a vegetarian vegan. I go half with it because I still kind of like the cheese a little bit. Slowly getting away from it, and I see different ways of doing it, but what I've been looking into is all that Chinese cheese. I'm trying to find out a little more about that Chinese cheese and what
I
they
was just
use.
telling my husband I want to buy a wok because I feel
Interesting.
like I'll be using that with everything. Because really, all you need is your veggies. You need your veggies. You know, I do eat protein. I gotta have my chicken or whatever, and it's mainly chicken in different ways. You know what I mean? But I'm doing my
So
baked
you eat what kind of chicken do you eat?
like baked chicken breast
So you
from we
get
have.
so you eat the halal chicken then.
Well, we get it from the Amish people that
So
they
yeah,
grow
then
their. They have an Amish farm out here, so
it's
that's what
cooked
it is.
differently. Yeah. Nah,
Yeah, but
I
they
asked about the
raise their
halal
chicken.
because yeah,
That too, they have that available, but I like the Amish way is better from like the way they raise it. Now they might
yeah.
pray for it or whatever, but that don't mean that they raised it right.
Between the Amish and the halal, yeah, don't get it from like Walmart
Eggs,
and
the cheese. Oh nah, the eggs, the cheese, all that stuff is hand churned. They got a bakery every Saturday and Sunday. You better get your ass there and load up on your fresh goods. I
yeah, we
mean,
used to do that in
real nice
Pennsylvania. There's a
setup.
lot of Amish in PA. So in
Baltimore got a lot of good food spots though. Yeah, that's one thing. Hopefully that lasts, you know. But a lot of choices, like a lot of cuts, a lot of stores out here, you know what I mean? So that's how that goes, you know. Yeah. But
good food is good food. But
relationships, tying it all in, it's like you got to learn how to work with one another. But when people got all these drug problems, they got all these, and then they're left alone to manage a household. You know, some people do need overseers. Some people do need leaders. We are moving back to that because I was in a session. I was in I guess, a funk like, I don't need no leader, this and that. No, I particularly don't, but I do have mentors. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have elders. You know, I take counsel from my ancestors. You know, I listen. I don't play around. But you have to have discernment, number one. Know who's like, don't let a knucklehead lead you anywhere. Why would you let somebody lead you somewhere you wouldn't go normally? You know what I'm saying? Like those type of things. Like I'm pretty sure the whole TD Jakes congregation, when they found out about him, did they think about, I'm pretty sure they continued to follow. That was the interesting thing. It didn't do anything, that next Sunday they all were there and they're still there. As far as I know, he's still doing his thing. I don't think he stepped
so
down.
this the thing then.
Did you?
When that time come and these people have to answer and we have to do what we have to do, um, I won't feel any remorse because they were warned.
Right, that's the thing. Everyone has
Um,
the opportunity to know, but they spend a lifetime running from the truth. Like they don't want to listen to nobody. They shun you. They tell you this is the only way. You'll go in hell. The whole heaven and hell situation, and it's just wild to know that literally that is a mental psychosis. You know, to not
so
research something
we
until you are satisfied rather than listening to what the pastor said every Sunday. They don't read the book, maybe don't have Bible study. And might go to Bible study and still sitting up there listening to what somebody else said. Because I was in that position. I used to teach Bible study. I was like every position in the church besides like minister, treasurer, recording secretary, uh, dang, what else? Minister, recording secretary. Oh, treasurer. Most of all. That was the top position there. I really got to see how things went right there. Let me just say it was an experience, but I'm glad I had it. Like I know I could run it from the door to the from the front door to the back door. I could run my own church. Well, like that's what I've already built that. You don't have to have a building. This is a church without doors. We're starting online first. The temple is already built. When the doors come, then we'll have that. But there's a lot of work to do, you know, just the way we're doing it now. You know what I'm saying? We're a quantum generation, so we don't always have to be up in each other's face directly, but we can meet a few times a year. You know, that would be nice. Have some events and whatnot. People got to travel. People got to have the money. It's just a lot on people right now. So for now, I think this is a better thing. But I'm really trying to find out because locally I'm getting ready to do something. And before I had put myself in like one of the worst shelters in Baltimore downtown. And that was back when I was actually in a leader in the church, and I went down there to do Bible study, call myself doing something great for myself and the Lord. you know, how, you just do things because it's on your heart or whatever. If I'm into something, I'm into it. Like I don't bullshit around with things. You know what I'm saying? If I'm following something, I'm following it, and then when I find out it's not what it is, it's out of here, you know. We're
mhm.
Scorpios. We don't have a problem with cutting things and, doing the little snip snap, We already looking
There
at
you
it
go.
sideways. When it comes, it has to prove itself to us. And there's always that question mark that we have. So very investigative. So once you elevate, and that's what I call it, an ascension to where I am now, I just I'm grateful. I wouldn't change a thing. I love my journey. It's been out of sight so far,
Right.
you know. And for those that are experiencing pure hell out there, because that's the title, relationship talk. For those that are experiencing, I'm seeing what the goddess is saying because none of this is scripted. But for those that are experiencing pure hell out there, you know, I send you healing energy. I send you focus energy. I send you discernment. Know when you need to get the heck out of a situation. Know when you
Hold
need
that
to
thought.
run.
Hold that
Yeah,
thought,
know
sister.
when you need to run.
You see what you just said? You telling them, but I'm gonna break it down for them a little bit more.
Go
She
ahead, help
said
me out.
for people that are going on that are being
Going
like
through pure
hell,
hell.
going through pure hell. So hell, they spell it Hell, but it's actually H. Take that last L and put a little curve on it till you can make it D. So it really be hell back. That's why she say don't stay too long. You know,
Caught up for real.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and if you that's this English language, it is very demonic and literally spell. That's all you're doing is spelling, 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 spelling. So you have to be mindful of, like you say, words, etymology, spelling. We learned something about the word what was it? Apocalypse and the end time word or whatever. And it didn't mean anything about what they said it meant. It escapes me right now what the heck it did mean, but it didn't mean anything from what the Christian religion has, scoped it out to be. You know, let's see. Let's see. For the Medu Neter, the meaning of apocalypse. Medu Neter is no secret, so they should have it on here. What does it mean? We know what that is. Syncretism of translating. Apocalypse. Sacred black cattle. Sacred black cattle is what it actually means. Apocalypse. Like I said, it has nothing to do with the heck. They was
Secret
just
black cattle. Who's the secret black cattle? Is that the
we
sheep,
are.
the people or the sheep? Yeah, the black sheep. Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah.
documentary, okay, of what it is that they have broke it down. Oh, let's just read the first section. It says, this article is a reflection of the presentation offered at a 2019 Association for Classical African Civilizations Conference, where the origins and meaning of the word Kemet were debated. This examination seeks to identify synchronism, proposed and superior method of interpreting ancient texts, specifically the Medu Neter. Yeah, because a lot of things that you have to know, do the studying and break it down because it's not what they said it was.
Yeah,
You know,
like so the word
look right
apocalypse
here.
for me is a pack of lips, right?
Right.
So they're trying to keep a pack of lips silent. So they're trying to keep you quiet. That's what it means to
A
me.
pack of lips. Look. Literally in the Medu Neter, Kemet says equal the Negroes. See?
I see it. Uh-huh.
Kim equals black.
Yeah.
They wasn't interpreting it like that because listen, we had to prove that it was us on the walls anyway, and you see us on the walls, and they still trying to portray us as somebody else with Elizabeth Taylor and everybody trying to play Nefertiti. And remember, they DNA did the printed the whatever from her DNA, and she came out looking all fair skinned and whatever. She didn't have no chocolate to her skin or whatever. It was crazy, but like for the longest time, we've been in battle about just saying that, that society needs to say that ancient Kemet was black and that everything in their society came from it. Your medicine, your
They
science, your
would discredit them.
sociology, your,
They would
your
be looked at. They would be
everything,
the
your spirit
they would be the
world,
Drake. They
knowledge.
would be the Drake of the world. They would be the Drakes of the world. And they would be discredited and looked at the way
Kendrick,
they are.
because they not like us.
Exactly. Literally.
They got to be like the Kendricks of the world.
You're not gonna hear them play that this summer. You're not gonna hear that they not like us. You're not gonna hear them play that this summer.
I know they be tight when I be blasting that one.
Oh
I got
yeah.
to get out the car and finish.
And guess what? You know who gonna get more mad about it? 6 Jewish people. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be so because he a Jew.
Don't say that word. We gonna get kicked off hell.
Whatever they is.
Scooby Doo's. I'm telling you, they got that algorithm hot, yo.
Yo, yeah.
Oh wait, did we get kicked off yet? Remember, they got made a law, yo. You can't say jack, yo.
Ain't mad about that. Like that's why we gotta get out their system. And we need to get them on other things so we can say
Yeah,
what we want to say. And then we
I
can
think
run them
it's
videos right
easy.
back on them.
Yeah, I think the easiest way is when the system crash, when that dollar crash is on its way. I don't even know how they got the stock market rolling like every day. They definitely pumping money into it to make sure it doesn't go down because people are using their credit cards to buy groceries. It's crazy. It's crazy right now.
But that crypto coin would take over when it dropped. And I got
Well,
a lot of money invested in that too.
listen, I've been sitting on my crypto for a long time. I hope it come through, yo. Especially
I got
one.
something called Pi. I've been
Yeah.
doing the Pi thing, man. I got, yeah.
Buy.
Huh?
You said pie or buy?
Pi. P-I. The
Oh, okay.
P-I.
That's
I've
the
been doing
company.
the, it's supposed to be turning into something. I don't know what it's going to turn into.
I'm
But
check it out. It might be on Coinbase, the white paper.
I
You
think
know,
you could look it up. I've looked it up.
mhm,
PI. And I
mhm.
think this like each coin was worth like 36 something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
I'm like, oh,
Got
y'all need
so
to
many out there now, man. I was into it when it first started,
started.
yo.
That Bitcoin is worth a
At
whole
that
lot
time, of
though.
course, I didn't have the money to invest in it, but I whatever I had, I invested, and I literally, I created like 500 and some odd dollars out of like a $5 investment, just sitting there fucking with
That's
my cell
good.
phone off and on. When I get $2, $3 here and there, I was fucking with it, invest with it, whatever. Next thing you
Add
know,
up.
like, and for those that had the money, they got paid. They got paid. A couple
Hey,
of years ago, people got paid off of that for real. Yeah. Oh well, our time is coming to really hit it to where we can do something
we need
with
to
it.
get back into the bartering system, man. That's the true money right there.
That too, to come from people's skills and whatnot.
Because what's going to end up happening is when that dollar fall, people ain't gonna know how to react or how to get things done, except the ones that believe in the bartering system. I'm gonna look at him like, well, look, I know how to cook, man. I know how to cook. We can have this at the party. If I can get that in exchange, then we good.
I'm getting ready to, all jokes aside, I'm getting ready to go into this state and look into their auctioned off property situation because I'll definitely hire me a crew of what I call it what is the name? Because I'm from New York, we got certain. I would
So
offer me get me a crew of
construction workers, what?
poppies. Let's just say poppies because we got mommies and we got poppies. You know what I'm saying? So we just
Yeah.
gonna keep it going because I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? I will hire me a group of poppies from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And it won't be hard because they like us. You know what I'm saying? I will have me a crew of 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? I'll be serious in my business suit. Hire them contract. I have the out because I'm a notary. I'll create the paperwork and all of that. Y'all redo that house right there. We can ready flip this shit.
That's
If
the
you work
thing I
for
do. That's the
everybody else,
thing. I
work
ain't gonna
cheap for me.
lie. I
I'm
would
gonna look
love
out.
to
I'm
get
gonna look
back
out.
into
I'm gonna
that
feed you.
because
I'm gonna give y'all waters. I'm gonna feed y'all. I ain't gonna work y'all like that, but be loyal. And it's gonna be straight business, but I'm gonna have to try that.
I do tiling. I do brick masonry. I took
Cause they,
the trade in
yo,
high
let's
school.
go.
So
Yo, let's
bricks,
go.
I love to put like one
Yeah,
of my projects I would
that's
love to
the
do
best
is get
way.
a house.
Bricks,
Huh?
mud and bricks, or cement and bricks, rather.
Yeah. One of the thing I would love to do is get a house and tile the inside and get all kind of different broken tiles and get some mortar and mix and match the
The
tiles. It would
crystal
look
joints,
so
the
tough.
granite, you know what I mean? So you can have their frequency right and everything. We should be able
Man,
to do that with these old dilapidated because America got so much garbage houses, like, and the homeless situation is crazy in
you should
every
get
state.
like a bunch of crystals and put them in bricks and that energy and different things. You mix the mortar with that. Yeah. And when the sun
Live the
shine on
life,
it,
yeah, live the life that you were meant to live, like, because they got everybody now, like, they got to come here, grow up in their school system for 12 years, then be hooked on to a job until they're 65 or whatever, and then 60 damn 5, and then you got
it
to
went
retire.
up. It's probably like 70 now.
Seven- exactly, to be hooked on a job from college all the way to 70, You're lucky if you finagle around whatever your degree is and you make something of yourself, or you come from money. A lot of people come from money, so they get helping hands and whatnot. But when you're out there scraping it from the mud, that's your whole damn life. And then you probably hurt your back or something like that. And then you got to retire early. And
And see, this the
then
thing,
they
man.
block you. Then they block you from little hustles and all of that stuff. They want
So sister,
uh-huh.
this the thing. We got a lot of older black folks out there that's disabled. You got some young ones too. They can't work. So I mean, like honestly, somewhere down the line, I would like to help create a thing where you could help. We could help somewhere with the funds, or not so much the funds, but more directly what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the funds, because once you give somebody directly what they need, it cancels out the part of needing money, but it got to be reciprocated.
Yeah. A lot of what they need is housing that is not expensive because they're not making that type of money on their job. They got to regulate these housing prices. Number one, you got to regulate this stuff. If a person doesn't make any money, that you know to think about this thought, but they're gonna have to do free housing programs for some. You know what I'm saying? Or they're just gonna be on the streets
That's why
forever.
we gotta get up out the
Some of
system,
them are so
because
mentally ill, even a housing program is not gonna help them.
no, it's too late. They beyond getting uh, they
A
beyond
lot of
getting
them are
sheltered.
beyond.
So it's now how can we nurse them back to help where they can actually have shelter or do something for themselves? How can we get them
It's
back to that?
it's the only way is people like you and me, hot light workers, herbalists. The herbalists, number one, they're gonna have to get cleaned up and they're gonna have to be worked on from the inside out. And it's all gonna start with what they're eating, their evaluation, even if they're mentally ill or whatever. A good flushing and parasite cleansing on a person, you evaluate them after that because it makes a major difference.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The right kind of cleansing. It don't take no one day, maybe a 7 day for people that's really, really, really deep in, you know. But there's certain things that you can use that will begin to repair and rebuild their DNA and whatnot on the inside, you know. And that's the only way chance that they have is
but you
holistic.
see, everything that we talking about,
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to say this. We gonna have to break away from this reality that we live in and actually do it, because once we get to a certain extent and we making full progress the way we should, that's when they usually try to shut things down. They
Hmm.
try to
We
create
already
acts of
have
crimes
something set
against you.
up. Yeah.
I don't want to go through that, because
Me
I'm
neither.
at the point where, like, if I feel that's happening, I'm going to retaliate in a way I shouldn't, and I'm going to retaliate in the way I shouldn't, because they're going to retaliate in the way they should. But
Right.
I want to get to them before they get to me. And
Exactly.
that's why I'm saying I want to get away from this system of how we do things. Or if we do things and we how we is, we just gonna have to do it. We gonna have to just do it on the sub.
Yeah. That's true.
And if we do it on the sub, I'm gonna be real. Like it'll be things happening beneath 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 the flat, to the point that even if you come down, well, I gotta know who you is, why you here. I'm gonna check you for wires, everything. I'm gonna treat you like we selling drugs, man. I'm not. Yeah, I'm serious, man. Because some people like to sell out. It's gonna become that kind of thing.
Yeah. On for some healing herbs.
It's
We're gonna
gonna
have
become that kind of thing.
we're gonna
Because
have to go underground. I see it kind of
yeah,
now.
yeah. The reason
Now,
it's gonna become that kind of thing is because they got six eaters out here desperate to survive, and if they can knock any nine eaters off, and they feel that that's gonna keep them going, they're gonna do it. At any
Dr. Sabi,
cost, at any cost.
Dr. Sabi, I heard
Yeah.
they was messing with his son, and they just they always going for other family members. They don't just want them; they want their
No, no,
seeds
because they
because the
know
knowledge
that
is in
that's
the
is deep
seed.
rooted.
Yeah, the
That's
solid
deep
knowledge is
rooted.
in the seed. Yeah, yeah, you got that right.
Come on, man. He ain't just alone had that knowledge. They know he alone ain't had that knowledge.
Yes, but we are the new ones. We're working with a lot more spiritual power. We tap into who we are. We have to be cloaked in our protection.
So
Also,
we need bodyguards. We gonna need people out there to foot the work and carry certain things. No, I'm so serious because it's gonna come a time where
mm-hmm.
like you can't even look at some of these people without having to do something. And
If
it's
they
at
see you
that
doing
point.
too much good, they're gonna be on your tail, point
See, I
blank.
don't. And I'm at that point where I don't care anymore. If
Me either.
if we gonna go out like that, let me go out for something that I'm doing that's right. Because you don't feel it's right, don't give you the right to do what you think you should be doing. So I'm gonna show you why you don't have the right. And if it's at the cost of my peace and other people's peace, so be it.
Right.
Ain't no more of that. Wait, let's not. We can wait too long. How much
Yeah.
longer we gonna wait?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just do it time. And that's how you got to stick and move. You got to do it on your time. All this organization and getting together and this and that. That's how you get rocked.
And I don't
Move,
want
move with it like it's your lifestyle. You
right.
know what I'm
And I
saying?
don't want no scary people around me. I don't want people around me that don't want to do this when the time comes. If you scared and you gonna be like that, you can't be around me. They gonna have to stay far away from
Right. On a mission or a run to save the children and whatnot, you know, because it's deep like that,
me. Yeah,
you
you
know?
got to be willing to really sacrifice. Go get what. Not they been sacrificing, but they ain't been sacrificing for the right reasons. Now it's time for someone to do it, and this is more deadly than it has ever been because it's for all the right
Yeah.
reasons.
Right. These killings and whatnot, a lot of them is due to deep depression. Like you said, people are being threatened with homelessness every day. There's a whole entire channel, and the guy had gave me permission to use some footage, but it was so depressing. I was like, I don't want to share that every day or whatever. But it was about how our people are pretty much being evicted like crazy around. And he works with a company. He has a company that does the evictions. So he's a black man that owns the company that does the
Yeah,
evictions, and he mainly puts his own people out. And I thought about that. It's definitely a business. He's definitely getting paid, and he's definitely got a good setup. But I thought about the spiritual cost, and
no, what's going to happen to him? You know
he
what's going to happen to him? He gonna wake up
was
one of
too
these
hooked in
days.
the matrix. He was like, "Well, don't got the rent." He was practical with it. Like I see where his perspective was. You don't got the money. This is what happened. Like the law that they made or whatever. But he was so attached to that. You could tell he was like a
Yeah,
systemized Negro.
robotic.
He finds nothing
Agent.
wrong
He
with that.
became an agent. But you know something I read today, right? And it was about people having. Okay, say I'm here and I was just born. I was just born yesterday. And 2 years of living with my parents, and I haven't had a good relationship. I've been abused, everything, all
Mm.
that. I was reading something on the spirit leaving and checking out in another spirit, another soul taking over, or a
Mm-hmm.
joint soul. And I was like, that make a whole lot of sense. But what I also read too is just as a good one could come, you could also get a bad one.
Right. And he could also get stuck. That's what they say. A lot of these celebrities be tapping into certain ones, like Sasha Fierce. That's a spirit. So when she gets
Beyonce's
ready to
alter
yeah,
ego, that's the alter ego she
right,
called
type
on.
of thing. Yeah. So they say that she
Yeah.
be really tapping in with some demonic actual deity or whatever, this sensual type deity. Maybe
Alteration
not
of her
demonic, but
ego. her ego
Yeah,
altered, aka it could be
I
her
get
lower
it.
ego or her higher ego,
Hmm. Yeah,
altered ego.
conditioning your mind to do a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Easing God out. That's what I call ego, easing God out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ego. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Easing God and everybody else out, and it's only you there.
Yep,
The big I, little you. That's the ego. You
yep.
know, as Scorpios, we know a lot about ego. We could teach a lot of people about it because either ours gets out of hand or we master it. And those of us that
Yep.
master it are some serious beings out here. You're serious with it out here.
We're considered nonchalant.
Right. Right. Exactly. Like you
I
never
swear,
know.
people are like, you nonchalant. I'm like, wow, because I don't pay attention to something that fascinates you overly.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like even when you're trying to be nonchalant, you still be
Oh,
shining.
I get so sarcastic with them, like they be like, you're nonchalant and you're a sarcastic a-hole. And I'm like, well, dang, own up.
Maybe you should, maybe you should leave me the hell alone. Because
Mm-hmm.
we are
Now to
we're
tell them.
comfortable with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like we could survive in a cave if we needed to. Whatever
And
the
it's
condition is, we're going to adjust to it, you know. And so just like the
people,
same thing.
people, people treat it so bad though. Like, man,
I feel
I'm
like
like,
that too.
why they treat me so bad? What I do
Misunderstood.
to you?
Misunderstood. Maybe that's why it's like difficult to get people to, they don't know I have a gift of praying. I
They
have a
don't want to
gift.
hear what we have to say because it it
Hmm.
disturbs their natural peace to the point that they don't want to listen. Nah,
Yeah,
okay,
and
this is
it's not appeasing whatever they're into. We might probably are opposed at some point in some kind of opposition as far as this lifestyle
because
situation.
we have to say what they don't want to hear, and they have to listen to what they don't want us to say.
And we have to know the reaction that's coming, and then we have to just take
But
it and
this the
process.
thing: when
We
the
already
reaction
know.
come, I don't have a feeling. I don't give off an emotion to it because what's being said is logical.
Right.
It's logical. So why am I giving you like? Why would I be practical in my emotion instead of practical in my logistics?
Yeah.
I'm
Or
not
feel
gonna
like,
give you practicality and emotion because the situation don't call for that. You're gonna play my emotion and you're gonna miss the whole logic of what's supposed to happen. So I'm not gonna give you that. And when I do that, a lot of women tend to call me an asshole because I don't tend to give into the emotion. Because I'm
wow.
like, look, man, it's the logic here. I'm like, I can't do anything with the emotion at the moment. It does not fulfill what
Apply.
needs to logically happen, aka it doesn't apply to it.
Right.
It doesn't fulfill anything logically.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely get it. It's
And
like
they
a whole mind game around the subject. You didn't even get a chance to talk about the subject because they just played this whole mind game. So you got to either say, I'm going to address the subject or I'm going to let that go. You know what I'm saying? And
hey,
that could get pretty wiry.
and then you're the bad guy because now they're gonna use they're gonna use they're gonna use the whole idea of emotional damage for damage control. They're gonna use that whole
Right.
thing. They feel
Exactly.
emotionally because now they can't put it where they wanted to put it, so now they have to find a way to bring it down where you
Yeah.
can't get
And don't forget, it's always you
it.
that has
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem, you know?
Like
It's just like,
my
mhm.
Capricorn buddy, her my little Capricorn friend. I mean, she's cool, and I'm not trying to get with her in no kind of way. Just a childhood friend, and look back and I say, okay, because I'm starting to recognize a lot of things that happen that was supposed to happen for me is just like some kind of weird ordinance, especially since Pluto's been in retrograde. So it's like I'm going back and I'm collecting all these things I didn't get to collect when I was in the Virgin Islands or when I was supposed to be there as a kid. So
Yeah.
relationships that I missed as a kid, I'm collecting them now. People are showing up I haven't seen in 20 something, 30 something years.
Listen, I was saying that that was actually today's horoscope for Scorpio, that someone from your past was going to pop up. Didn't
Yeah,
happen for me, but you said it happened for you.
it been happening for the last 2 3 days. And guess
Not that
what's
I
so
know of.
crazy? I didn't know her name as kids. So
Uh,
what it is you grew up in the same neighborhood. I didn't know your name as kids. I just knew we went to school together, and I always messed with you after school. I just
mm,
knew that. And now I look back and she's like, "Oh, I didn't remember. I don't know your name, but I remember your face." And I'm like, "Okay, that's good enough." Because we souls don't have names.
right.
They just remember energy.
Yeah.
Energy remember
Yeah.
energy.
Me and names are so not good. I'm definitely an energy person. Definitely. Yeah.
And I sat back and I was talking to her, and like we were just vibing, and she said some things, and it kind of turned me off. If anything could have possibly happened,
Hmm.
like when she said, because she said something, and I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't take it that way, but I see why I took it that way. So she's talking, she's explaining to me, she's been through situations, she's been abused, she's been this, she's been that. And I'm like, okay, yes, I get it. I'm not saying that out loud, but I'm like, this is a typical story you hear from a black woman nowadays.
Mm.
This is a typical
Oh,
thing.
okay.
You hear this a lot, like they've been damaged, they've been hurt, and I'm like, wow.
Everyone,
So,
huh?
and yeah, she has a 5 year
Well,
old
what's
son.
actually, I feel like what she's actually saying is she hasn't healed from it, because everyone has been hurt. I mean, we're older. I mean, come on, we
So
are
you're right.
experiencing all different
You're
things here.
absolutely right. The
Yeah.
reason, and she has a 5 year old son and a 7 month old baby girl. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna be friends. There will be no way that I'll ever even look at you. Red flags. We're gonna stay right where we at. You a childhood friend, and that's what you're gonna continue to be. And I have no problem talking to you because I feel like she's beautiful, beautiful in her own little way.
Yeah.
And that's
But
great.
right. You have to
Love the
think about
truth.
yeah, it's because that's a package deal, and it comes with a daddy from somewhere, unless he done dropped off the planet.
So now let me explain something with that. So now she get to, like, we talked to her a couple times on the phone. She's just a little attitude, not with me, but because of whatever the situation her and dude going through. So what people don't understand is that we can tap into something.
Hmm.
So you're telling me the situation's still fresh. So and you telling me the situation's still fresh, basically, as upset as you are with him, and you're saying you're done with the guy, which I didn't ask you because I don't have interest. I don't have
Hmm.
interest in you on that level. So I wouldn't ask you anything like that. So what I end up saying to her is like, nah, I was like, so I made a joke. I was like, oh, when the last time you been in your bed? It was just
Hmm.
laughing, but people don't know when we laugh, we're actually serious. We,
Yeah.
we, we gonna laugh with you to get that out of you because if we serious, you're not gonna answer us. So laughed with her, and I'm like, she's like, yo, it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks. Well, really 2.5 weeks. Women lie too, but when they say 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe it's just been about a week and a half. So I'm like, yeah, of course, you feel that way because you're emotionally still attached to him. So you talking about this female that he's with or how he's treating you because he's with this other female, but she don't want to be with him. You're still
Mhm.
emotionally attached to him. You just had a baby for this man 7 months ago. You can't
Wow.
tell me you still ain't emotionally attached to him, but you want
Yeah.
to be biased and play your cards because you want to have your cake and eat it too. So you want me to take your side and say something, and you just in the wrong for still accepting him how he is. So until you change that, he's not going to change, and he's younger than you. So you get into this stuff with the younger generation, and that's a
Yeah.
whole nother fucking mess. Excuse my French. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you cannot better your situation until you want to better it. You got to be honest with yourself because
Oh yeah,
everything
for
you're
sure.
telling me, you ain't being honest.
And the choices, you know, the choices got to change.
Yeah, you messing with a guy that's younger than you. You got a baby to a guy that's younger than you. For
Mm,
one, if he the
right.
way he is and you allowed that, he already ain't gonna have respect for you.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So that's on you. You got to deal with it. He got a baby for you.
It was, yeah, yeah. Wow. It'd be all type of situations going
So
on,
I
man.
don't respect. I don't respect her on that level. She's somebody I would never date on that level because of that. Because
Right,
you gotta be. You put yourself in the situation, and you put yourself in the situation for 18 years, and I don't want to have to deal with that shit, that stuff. Not 1 year of it because I know better.
right. Yeah,
If
that's
I'm
true.
gonna do something, let me get myself in a situation where
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
do
you
it
have
on my
your own, you
own.
got your own life
Yeah.
and situation, and yeah,
And I don't
it's
feel bad for her. People like that, they want you to feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for you.
yeah, that's true.
Fix it. Make it work. It's on you.
That actually just shed some light on a situation that I know of closely of two people that have children prior and they come together and they make a family and whatnot. Yeah. It takes a lot of work, especially when the children are even older, you know what I'm saying? Preteens and whatever.
I'm not doing it no more. I'm good. I feel like I'm 38 years.
Mm.
Maybe a female in the 20s might approach me. Maybe a female my age that wanted something may approach me. Maybe a
Yeah, you're
female
at
older
that
that's
age where
able to.
you could still do 20s.
I mean, yeah, I'm
I'm
not,
maybe
but
at least 25.
society makes it gross. They make it, especially the 6 X's. They make it gross. Like, oh, they trying to make this feel so old. They have programmed our younger generation because you got to remember, back in the days, we had women in their 20s that would date guys in their 30s and stuff like that. That was normal. But society is making so gross it separated that.
Mm.
They really cut the 80s babies down from a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like they're trying to say about the celebrities or whatever dating at, I think Jay-Z was 38 and Beyonce was 17 or 19. And
Now Beyonce, and that's the thing. Like they have destroyed the culture to the point that you got females that may be 25, 26.
mhm.
As a man, I'm never gonna walk up to a 25, 26-year-old girl try to talk to her because I
Like
get, oh,
he's
you're
a
a freak,
you,
you're
right?
too old, you a pedophile, and I'm like, wait, I thought we was adults. Dang, why they call all that because I'm that older and you're not interested because you heard my age in the media got you thinking this and that?
It's society, and I actually do think that people should have their own relationships, especially, but the age should be 21. I would say 21. I
Yeah.
wouldn't care 21 and you fell in love with somebody that was 62. That is your business. I'm not saying about that is society that puts stuff there. If you are classified as an adult, they say at 21, your brain is to the point where you can make solid decisions. If that's the decision that you want, maybe he's older. Maybe he wants to leave some children. Maybe he got the money to
But
take everybody. Who the hell
if you
knows?
ever pay attention,
Their business. I mean,
look,
I would have to suck it up. That is their life. And the young woman is an adult now.
but look at it like this. And I see your point of view, and I
Mm-hmm.
think something happened that's been missed. I'm about to show you something. And let's I
Choice.
wish we could I wish we could get statistics on this,
Mm.
but yeah, some of the older guys did abuse some of the younger females. You had some of them that did, that were
Yeah.
in the wrong. But if you look at it, back in the days, when there was an older guy with a younger female, we had a good things were reciprocated in a better manner. It was
They
reciprocated a
look
little better than what it is now.
they were looked at, they weren't looked at right like they are now. Right. They looked
So
at
that
young
was
lady.
very important though, because I'm gonna show you what was happening. You had that older individual.
Mm.
They were also older and they was of a different sex. So they were passing off two different lessons. They're
Mm.
passing off experiences from an older point and it was a different sex, so it was coming from a different point of view. You don't get that anymore. So
Right.
they can't communicate or they can't relate to us. You cut that off. That's been cut off to some extent.
Yeah.
So that old generation and new generation ain't making that connection as much anymore. It's been separated. That's how you separate a people.
Yeah.
That needs
Long
to
time.
happen again. That needs to happen again. Our society thrived on that.
They
But
say that the Willie Lynch letters was just a. Did you hear that? It was just a hoax or a joke. Not a hoax or a joke, but they try to say that it wasn't an actual document meant to be executed and whatnot. Well, it was, and it is, and it did,
they
and it
lied. They
still
lied.
is working. And it even said that if they did it a certain way, that the people would carry it on by themselves, and they no longer had to be
That's
in
what they did.
where we are now.
But
And
look, I'm gonna show you what they did.
the program is running itself.
They systematically program it through the marriage, and that's why I said something about the marriage. They're in your business. They should not be in your business when it comes to love. How can I pay you for me loving somebody? That's my business. So that's the number one thing we need to do. Get away from that system because it destroys us inside out. They're in your business, they're in your person.
Yeah,
They
I
know
don't think.
what goes on in your household.
Yeah, that's true. And the only way to get rid of that would be to get rid of something defund the IRS. But I don't think we fund the IRS. They are an individual entity. They are a
Deity, yeah, they're in the yeah.
separate company, like you said, deity. They are like an egregor because they are there to suck the life out of everybody. It's
We
just
don't
crazy.
fund them directly, but our tax money funds them. The
Yeah,
money
right.
they take away
Government
from
actually
us funds
funds
them.
them to track us. You know, they get their funds from the government to come after us. Like they're an agency. Like say I'm the government, I'm hiring them to track Americans to make sure
AKA the policy. The
stop my
policy is the police. So they are
money.
they are the ones that create the policies.
They have a budget, yeah, budget
The
policy.
policies are funded by the government through the IRS. In turn, we don't do what they want us to do. That's when they start policing and they get the police on you because you're not following their policy.
Well, that's where
Police policy
that's called breaking laws. You know,
breaking their laws and their policy.
you see how
Their
that
laws.
works? We went right from the IRS into laws and breaking them. So what they did was they created laws to keep us bound. And if you break that, then you go to jail.
But look. I got
But
one for
we're
you.
model citizens around here.
I got one for you. They created laws, but where they messed up at is even when they created the law, you spell that the other way around, it's wall, and they still missing the L.
Wow.
So the laws that keep you in bound, which is the wall. So what was first shall be last, and what was last shall be first. So now people are noticing it's really a wall. Let's get over that wall now. Let's get over that wall now.
Thing the
Fuck
plan
that law.
being executed. Like, you know, it's a plan. They're rolling out the scroll and things are going as planned for them. So they think. But we know there's always twists and turns in life. That's
It's
what
always a kink. There's always a kink in the armor. Armor
That's
always gonna have a kink in it.
no perfect crime, right? That's
What they say. What make you the same thing that make you laugh, make you cry?
That's a fact. Yeah, the same thing that had them laughing in their glory, and they never know how it is to not have this and not have that. And oh yeah, so people will rejoice in their downfall, absolutely, because it's been a long time. For actually, the whole world is under capture. You know, you can't go anywhere without that passport. You can't do free trade. You can't go they got to have their hands out. If you decide, hey, I'm going to start buying my products from Ghana, I'm going to take a trip to Africa, buy a bunch of food products, bring it back. Honey, you got to pay them tariff taxes,
Yep.
shipping taxes. You got to pay them uh, all this shit before you can even try to progress. Like, that's a great idea. And many people would love to do that. Hey, I want to go shopping in Brazil. I'm going to go over there and get a truckload of avocados. Let's do that. Honey, you got to go through so much crap. It's just like, you know, that's the bad part, and where you get into cosmic crime. Like they have the United Nations, how they charge Netanyahu with the world crime, of killing people. They all come together, all the countries. It's the United Nations crime situation where they take other countries and put them on trial. And so the leaders,
But who's in charge? How are they able to do that?
because all of the countries have a representative, and it's actually the World Court is what it's called.
So why ain't none of the presidents for America on trial? All the shit they did.
Well, they did it for Trump one time. They put a warrant out for him while he was
I
there.
ain't worried about Trump. I'm talking about Hillary Clinton and all of them that killed black people. That's what I'm talking about. They killed Kentucky.
Yeah.
About none of this.
So this is how you know who's in control. That particular system. That's why you don't see them being brought up on anything.
Because they people in control. They grants.
I think they did a lot of damage in Haiti that they could be brought up on charges for.
And I'm upset at the Haitians because they ain't working their magic and they ain't America. They need to be working their magic like what Toussaint did.
They are, but they are working, like you say, they are working against a bigger monster. And like I say, if they're casting their magic, it's going to work, but it takes situations. You know what I'm saying? It takes coups, it takes fights. So they cast their magic, but they still got to go to war for it to work. You know what I'm saying? That's how they won. The French, that's how they won before. They was kicking ass and using their magic.
Yeah, I know. They're powerful people. That's a tribe of Benjamin.
Absolutely. And us, we have tapped in, our DNA has tapped into that too, because we are being awakened to those systems, like not even asking. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't play with them. I deal with them individually at my job. I don't play with them.
Yeah. Yeah, right? No, yeah, it's not a joke, especially, if you don't know what you're doing or you don't have a connection. That's what it's all about, having a connection.
Yep. Not play with them at my job.
But yes, this has been another wonderful segment. Coming to a close, relationship talk. We have at the end ticker. Why does it end up in murder? It's because people can't control themselves, and they're not controlling themselves because anger is a monster. And when it's welling up in you, you have to check it or you can't. It's very strong. You know what I'm saying? And when you have other things working against you, sometimes it overpowers you. And these are these situations, But what we want to do is send out energy that thwarts all that. You know what I mean? Send out positive energy. When you have a chance or you call yourself praying or whatever it is that you do it towards the collective. And we will begin to see a change because we're going to have to battle. Listen, we haven't seen nothing yet. It is a war time in the spiritual world to destroy people. They want to cleanse the planet of a couple billion people. That's just a fact. They say there's not enough food, not enough resources, this and that. So by the time it trickles down to your household, you better be ready. That means stay woke, be woke, pay attention, stop bullshitting, watching that TV because ain't nothing on there but dumb shit. You're not going to learn how
The
to save
revolution will not be televised.
at all. You have to seek, you have to want to live out there, period. Because the weak are going to be, they're going to suffer. And weakness
Yep.
doesn't mean physical weakness, because there are some people that you would deem physically weak that are going to make it because they got the right mind and they made the right things. That's pretty much what it's going to take.
Why you think they call it the weekdays?
That's
The
right. You can
weekdays.
strongest body in the world, but if you don't make the right decision with it, you get caught in the trap. So we're gonna have to just wisen up, wake up. It is what it is. We've been gabbing and jabbing for years about these times, with our crystals and our comfrey shells and our tarot cards and all the stuff that you guys look down on this society, the conscious community out there about, that is tapped into their Akashic records, tapping into their planetary stars, where they came from. They're tapping into their natal charts and whatnot. There's a zillion things you need to know. Your astrology. You don't have time to be on this planet playing around. You have to prepare to get up out of here.
Exactly.
That,
And your astrology is your astrological.
that's right.
Your astrological. So it's logic in the astros.
That's
People
right.
need to learn that. You don't want to believe in it, but you
Yeah.
say you don't want to believe in it, you sound foolish because it has logic in it. So there's logic in the astros.
And that means,
Astrological.
yeah, absolutely. And we are all tethered to a star. Like if you look at a simple, basic system of the planets, sun, moon, stars, and whatnot, there is no way that you cannot figure out that it is a system and it's controlling something. And that would be all of us. That's as simple as we can put it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we just wish everybody love, peace, and light. And if you're in danger, run like hell. I'm not even playing. Just get up out of there.
Right.
Okay? The universe is going to make a way to survive. You know, there was a story of a woman that last week she was trapped in somebody's basement for about 10 years. But her time came to make a goddamn run for it. And that's what she did. And today she is free and alive. So never be afraid to save your own damn life. Run like hell if you have to. I don't know why I'm saying this, but yeah, absolutely. Coming from someone that's very fast. I come back. Y'all ready? I done ran, right? I done ran in the like my what you call it? That instinct or whatever. Cause my family, I'm like, they laugh at me because I'm the one that's like, different instances is there like a fire or a little mini explosion or something, and I'm like, I'm out with the kids. And I'm like, come back. Y'all ready? I'm already gone. Saved everybody, came back. Like, you still sitting there? Like, I'm the fastest. I'm known as the warden fire chief of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, because I can tell you so many stories. I can smell gas from like 2 blocks away in the wintertime in the car with my window rolled up. I knew that my furnace was the furnace in my building was leaking and whatnot. And it was. I'm like, it's a lot of shit, but you better pay attention to your intuition because your mind knows best. And the better condition it's in, the more aware you will be. Like, I be knowing something's happened. I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know, bridge was going to collapse, but I knew something shit was getting ready to fall down. I kept telling my husband, something coming. It's about to go down, okay? I mean, I just kept telling him that. And then, like, the next day, that happened. So, but I'm trying to eat right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the difference. I feel my mind and everything getting stronger. So that's what I profess for everyone else to do in these times. So you can stay alert and whatnot. Buy yourself some candles. Keep a light that, find some light when there ain't no lights. When it's a peaceful time, prepare for war. The great Sub-Zero talks about that. Heaven is surrounded by swords. Don't forget that. Flaming ones at that. For those of you that believe that philosophy, That's about the best thing that I can offer in that situation. You know, we're talking about relationships that end up in murder. That's pretty deep. You know, we got to go on some superhero Magneto, pull out my costume type of thing to really make a difference there. But we're doing things with our mind now. We don't necessarily see those are the movies. That's how they play things out in the movies. But what they're really doing is portraying us using our mind to control shit, you know. So in that place, I will be taking blocks of time and literally focusing on children being murdered because I don't like it. So I'm going to be going to war against that big time in my own way. And when you do things your own way, it's way more effective. So whoever's out there messing with children, your ass is grass because I'm going to get you. The goddess don't play. Stop me, Rizzy. I'm on a roll. I'm about to burn down the
Yo,
I'm about to go way to the underworld. It's too much going on, but this is how we have to be now. This is how we have to be. Like, don't feel like, oh, she's this, she's that. No, she's right where she need to be in these times. Ready for love, ready for war. That's a fact.
mhm.
You know, I'm saving the children, the babies, you know, the women, the men, whoever want to be saved. We got to help save each other, you know, however that is, you know. Yeah. Close us out, Rizzy.
Well, okay, so yeah, she's right about a lot of things going on, a lot of things that she's saying. And I mean, we gotta start somewhere. We gotta start with us. Hopefully we get there Sunday. I mean, it ain't gonna be today, but hopefully
Ain't gonna be
tomorrow, one
tomorrow.
day.
We can help it.
Oh no.
We got to be here to fight now. Well,
Right,
actually, the ancestors are kicking ass, but they need us on this side
right.
right now.
Well rounded and balanced.
For
But I
sure.
mean, that's
Get out
it for
there,
the
get
night.
in that grass, take them socks off, stand in the grass. No, but if you have thin socks, you can keep them on because I'm squeamish. I don't know. Just something. I need my socks on. But anyway, get that grass, get out there and get them feet in that grass. That's like
Mhm.
a
Definitely.
free big thing you can do. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you need it.
But
People, a lot of people need it. In the sunlight.
yes, you have no idea how effective just standing in some grass under the sun and just let everything go
And a cup of ginger water.
out the window. It's nothing like it, yo.
Ginger
It's
water with some lime to go with it. You know,
yes.
a little bit of
Drink
that.
a bunch of water before you go out there, you know, because the sun is definitely evaporating shit. I have a bird bath that I had water in, and I just filled it up yesterday. Went out there today, it was dry as a bone. I said, God damn. But
Mm,
I think it's something, it's this the sky spray, it dries you out. You notice you go outside, you get dry ass mouth, you just feel dry. It's just breathing that damn sky spray. It dehydrates shit. That's what it is. It's trying to dry us up. I hate it. I hate it so bad.
I'm being sad
Hate
most of
that
the
damn
time that I
sky
wouldn't
spray.
know. That's probably why
Oh
I'm in the
man.
story so much.
Yeah, I really do. That day they gave us a break for 3 days was so freaking lovely. Yes, indeed.
And you
But
notice it. I don't even be noticing it all the time because I guess I'm so indoors
look
and
up. Like I stay looking up a lot. I'm like very in tune to looking up, you know, and you gotta know clouds in all the
just
different colors.
some days I wake up
There ain't
4 in
no
the
damn
morning, the sun is rising,
clouds. Yeah.
and some days 5 o'clock the sun is rising. I'm like, man, so it rises between 4 and 5, okay?
Well, it's positioning to set at that time, but it gets stronger. Like I say, it used to be the hottest time of the day used to be at noon, but now it's like 4 or 5 o'clock.
In the afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, temperatures still be rising at that time. So we only got a couple of hours of cool off before the joint be rise before Ra rises again. You know what I mean? He wake me up every morning because the way my window is, it'd be like bing. I'm like, well, I'm alive.
Got that AC
Thank
on. I be having
goodness.
that AC on.
Oh man, me, I'm a tropical person, but yeah,
I
my
am
husband
too, but
I'll be under the covers.
Evansville don't got no tropical breeze like that. We in the valley, so
Yeah, it just be cold. Oh yeah, y'all just get hot, hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still breeze, no nothing moving.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely got it. They came back out with the coolers too, the ones that you just put the water in. You got porter water in it and it cools it or whatever. They have one that works without electric. That's what I was looking at. I was like,
What it
wow.
was, the solar?
It was solar powered, yeah. A battery.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get like that dude, man. Start cleaning my water
Oh,
and clean the air. We start cleaning the
you
water.
saw
I don't
that?
buy water no more.
How he made water out of thin air?
They destroyed his machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he rebuilt it. He rebuilt it, but I don't know if it's still going. You know, he
They
said
gonna try to shut that down because he taking out their pockets.
the water company did that.
What,
It wasn't.
destroy the machine? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said they knew what they was doing. They didn't just come there and fuck it up. Like they like disconnected certain parts. Like whoever did that, you had to
They
be
knew what
have
they was
a
doing. They had the intention.
experience, their building experience, engineering for that. So yeah,
They
goddamn
didn't like it. So what he could
Dear
have did
Paul
was put
probably did
cameras
it.
on it.
Oh, for those that don't know, Fiji water, which was supposed
Ain't
to
no
be
good.
uh,
78,000 cases recalled.
all the plastic microbites is
It's
in
so
there.
crazy that you say that. I had a friend I'm working with. He was drinking that, and one of my assistant managers happened to be non-eater like us, and he said something to me, and I said something to him, and I'm like, bro, whatever other Fiji waters you got, get rid of them. Don't even drink that water no more. Literally.
What'd he say?
Oh, he got rid of them.
Oh, he probably heard about this. Because most
Had
people
no
are, this
choice.
is the best kind on the market. I pay.
They
Yo, and it's
found manganese and 3 strands of bacteria. Our
yeah.
body needs manganese, but I don't know what kind of
I
manganese
know.
they put in it.
Yeah, but why are they asking? No, we need to supply our own body with manganese.
Yeah,
When we say
and
we want spring water, we just want spring water. We don't want them to add no fucking nothing to it. Manganese,
then
electrolytes, and all
you
this.
you
That's why I
got
say it's the water. It's the water too. And when the water and the air is compromised, that's when we've got a problem together, all of us.
so I need to find that dude. And if that dude was smart, you know what he would do? He would teach people how to make the machines, and everybody have a machine like that in their home.
I think he's from the South. He's a Southern guy. I know that much.
Everybody like that have deserve to have a machine in
He's
their
still
home.
alive. I haven't seen him since that video.
They probably on her, or did something to him. They probably trying to get him in legal trouble
It's
because
a shame, but people wouldn't believe it because they like to believe that humanity is generally okay, but no, it's not.
like
These
that
things
guy was a guy
happen.
that made a car that ran off of water. He ain't allowed to die.
Yeah, he disappeared too. He dies one okay, it was two guys. The one guy he got killed somehow. As soon as he told about his invention, there he went. And then there's another guy. I don't know what happened to him, but hadn't heard nothing about him since he came out with it now.
The world we live in, when you start to do things that
There's
help
another
other people to help you, yeah,
there's another new African young brother that can made the engine that runs off water now too. A young one I just saw the other day. We'll see what happens.
they
Soon
ain't
as
gonna
he
be able to do nothing with him.
no, if he don't have the money to make a prototype and get it done himself, and then he doesn't have to sell. He could hold the patent, but
That's what he
oh,
gonna do. He gonna probably hold it.
use it. But they're trying to get him to just get his whole thing first and not let him get a chance to. That's the thing. The whole
What they gonna do? They gonna get it and then they gonna throw it
stealing
away.
of
They gonna pay you
people.
to throw it away.
Yeah, the stealing of people's intellectual property is
But they
off.
don't even want it to use it. They want it. They wanted to get rid of it because it's getting in the way of their pollution.
Yeah, because they want to continue with their oil wars and whatnot, gas wars and shit off the chain.
Living.
Well, not if the earth does what she does and their oil is going to be compromised. All the earth got to do is have a shift, plate slip or something, something, and it's the end of their empire. But then, everybody suffers then, you
No,
know.
we just
We're
gotta get back to
all
bartering
these earthquakes
and
now. It's
yeah,
just wild.
yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah. It's time, you know, you have to. That's why it's a spiritual time, because at any time you got to make sure your soul is, you know, where it needs to be in case you need to get up out of here, because we just don't know at this point. Seen a man standing on the train tracks and he just got into it with somebody or whatever, and the guy pushed him and a train was coming and he just flew off the tracks. That was wild.
And that's the thing. That's why I don't get into it with nobody because
I don't be trying to
man,
say it to nobody, but it didn't look like, I don't know. It just
especially
looked
in
like
New York, nah, man, you're not about to talk to me next to no
it
train
was a
tracks.
mentally ill person because they be down in the subways or whatever. I think the person was standing there and he's got into a shoving thing and the guy pushed him off the tracks. This wild shit is happening. You just random. That's why I say they're talking about, oh, I just put my faith and trust in Jesus and this and that and that and this. And here you come with them protection oils and the sage and the this and that. And I said, well, it's just a different system, but at least it's something you can see. Sage knows its job. It is to protect from negative energy. Okay. It is to clean it and smudge it off of yourself, to whisk bad spirits and energies away from you. So you put all of that in one person's hands and, Jesus, this, that, and the other. But it looks like a lot of times it looks like he be whooping ass out there with y'all because y'all going through it. And it has to do with decisions and whose hands you put your life in. They ain't found no casket, no bone, no tomb, no none, whatever. If we dealing with facts, everybody's favorite word is facts, then you have to deal with the facts. And if that's what you're putting your life into, that's on you. Make it do what it do, though. Because it can work if you work it. I ain't saying it's the right thing, but it's definitely a program. If you work going the 12-step program, they say that worked for some people too, because they followed it. You know, it's just like real things are getting real simple, you know, but
What
it's
if they
that,
been simple?
yeah.
They just been giving you some complicated shit to go through to get to it.
People got to go through a lot to complicate shit, right?
Yeah, because
that's
it
that's
starts
the
out
work.
simple.
That's what work they putting in. I be putting in work. Yeah, you be putting in work, all right.
They be undoing their own demise.
Yeah, craziness. But yeah, everybody find a kid they could teach or mentor or something, because they sure need it. I had, that's what another thing I said, I had put myself in the Bible study down at the shelter. That was an experience. It was off the chain, but I enjoyed it. It was great. Um, and also they have the children's thing now, the group home situation for the state facility place or whatever. I was saying, I gotta go down there and see what kind of volunteer stuff they got. It's crazy though. I had to get my shit together. I'd be all cool and laid back or whatever, and I'll get it together, because you got to be on point dealing with them kids too. You got some rough ass kids.
Yeah,
And I ain't used to getting cussing out by no kids. You might have to catch your head. So yeah, we got the grandma thing going. We got the goddess thing going on over here. Disrespect the throne. I'm sorry. I don't care what rules you got. Don't get too out of hand. Cause then I got to snatch a knot. For real, I'm old school and it worked for me. I got some beautiful kids. They grown, but they good. Definitely good. Good kids. I think I can make good kids if they want to try, but some of them been through so much, so you got to meet them where they at and go
What
from there.
the
There's a lot of work to do, so I'm definitely gonna try and do that. Couple of hours. I want to teach them meditation. That's how I'm gonna go in. I want to teach them how to meditate, and it might turn into something because they need to have that as a program everywhere. An alternative gym class should be meditation, unless you just want everybody to keep popping off and murdering each other. Got to do something.
meditate is basically mediating without the extra T.
Mm-hmm.
It's to
Mediate
mediate
yourself.
self
Yeah.
without the extra T.
It's moving yourself into your higher self.
Yeah.
Communicating with your higher self, because that's what's instructing you actually. Boop, I just said something there. God. If you knew it was your higher self, how would you feel? Most people wouldn't even give themselves that much credit.
No, you never do. So that's what I tell them. I was like, well, some of y'all here to serve Jesus, and some of us here to serve self. I said, I'm here to serve myself. People be like, huh? What? Are you here to serve self? Like, well, I can't explain. If you know, you know. If you don't, I can't explain.
Didn't he tell you to take care of yourself? Some of his words said,
They didn't get that.
others the way you want to be treated. So you must know how to treat yourself. So that means you have treated yourself well. You know what I'm saying? People got to break down that word. They just read it like da da da. Da. It's not literal. It's always something behind what it is. It's always
But
something
you
that
gotta
more
remember,
high.
everybody is a reflection, but every reflection don't see the body.
Yeah, that's true.
So
You have to show
everybody's
themselves.
everybody's water, and the first reflection is the sun seeing the water. That's the
Mm-hmm.
first reflection. If Earth was created first, but
I
people never
pulled that
take the
card
time
out.
out to see that.
It
Huh?
said truth. It was one of my cards I pulled out yesterday and it kept coming up and it said truth and she was sitting by the river looking at her reflection.
A lot of people don't understand. That's where fire and water meet. Fire and
Mhm.
water, they really don't go against each other. They help each other to see what can't be seen, but people don't want to do the work to see the overall. They just want to see what they see now. And I get a bigger overview of things on an overall because I do the work to see what I need to see now and then.
Mhm. Facts. You got to be able to. That's what I do. I carry things out. I try to start it from the beginning and carry it to the end to see, how it look. In a vision, you carry it to the end, you know.
But
Yeah.
that's something that they learn from six ethers. They learn how
Mhm.
to go, like, if you pay attention to six ethers, I mean, it's okay to learn as you go, but they make mistakes and they basically don't have a plan. They just go with whatever and they make shit up as they go. And in them making up shit as they go, they make a lot of mistakes because like they'll wait for
Mhm.
something to happen and then after it happens, then they'll come up with an idea of something to fix it. We as a people, we already have an idea to fix it before it happens because we know it's gonna happen. They wait
Right.
till it happens and then they want to fix it. And then we start doing that as a people, and that puts us behind because we was never meant to do that.
That because
And
if you look at their system, everything is a plan. You start a business, you got a business plan. You got to know what you
no,
want to, how
their
you want to do
system is planned,
it.
but the way their system is planned, it's planned based off of what they seen us do. When that only been happening in the last 20 years. They didn't have systems, that many systems like that. Back 20 years ago, they only had like one or two systems. Now
I
they got
know.
so many different ways to do things because they've been studying us as a people.
Hmm.
They
Us. That
study what we do and how we do it, and they take it from us because they're a big corporation and they make it look like how it's supposed to look because the very thing that we put into, they have more of it than we do.
They have the resources to reproduce it. We have the ideas and everything else. It's
They
the
have the
resources they
resources because
hold
we
at
give them the
the time.
resources.
Right.
They
So
won't
imagine
have the resources if we stop taking a dollar and we just start. Like if we okay,
exactly. Stop
perfect
robbing us
example.
for
You
every
got
damn
me.
thing.
I'm cooking. You heal people. You do different things. You cook too. You got two of us here. You got 10 construction workers or 10 people that have different trades and they all build something. You have
Mhm.
five of them, 10 people build a house, and in that house that they building, it's gonna be different sections, and you're gonna have some different builders and people that do different projects. We're gonna
Yeah.
barter off with each other and trade off with each other, build things for the community, and then after that, we're gonna have a whole community full of people that only depend on people in that circle. We don't
Listen,
go outside of anything for anything.
listen. If they would leave people alone, you would have a whole block of people that have built their own homes and this and that. They lived in them or whatever. They shouldn't have to pay no rent or none of that, no mortgage, none of that. It's
They
not until
know
the government
that.
comes in talking about some damn taxes, land
That's
taxes.
why I say we
Like
need to get
they
off of their
own the planet.
system. Got
They
to get
own the
off of their
planet.
system. Because
They're
guess
not
what?
on
This
the planet. You got to get off the planet to get off of their system.
no,
Everywhere you go, there's a
that's
land
when you're gonna
tax.
start having to fight back then.
They
People gonna
got
have to
land
fight then.
taxes in every
You're
country,
gonna have
yo.
to
Every
fight.
country has adopted that.
You're gonna have to
Crazy.
fight then. You're gonna have to fight for what's ours because they can't have everything in. And if they
Who
kids gotta
told them?
go, they
Like,
gotta
I'm
go.
gonna have to look into how that even got like that. Like, how did the world get divided up like that? That's
They
crazy.
did that. They did that during the Rothschilds and did all that during the wars.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to figure that
But
out.
there's
That's
also stuff
wild.
I've been looking up, right? And there's brothers of arms and there's color. Like we got different brothers. We got like different arms. Like the last names of some of these black people that were in royal families. These are
Mm,
different, like surname, like little bands and things. If what a lot of black people been doing now, they've been getting together. Like say your last name was Johnson or something like that, and it was a black last name because I looked up some of them last names and I'm starting to make sense of this. Think about it
mm,
like this. They didn't know how to read or write. So if they didn't know how to read or write and do none of that, right? And we
yeah.
taught and educate them. We had to have English to some extent. We created some kind of language that they learned and they reversed it on us because they didn't know anything. So if we had names and things like that, all they did was change the pronunciation of the name or the lettering of the name
Mm,
to make it sound like something else. So technically, we don't have their last names. We have their last names. Some of them we have some of their last names, and some of the last names been revised, meaning that it was originally our last name. They just changed the spelling of it. AKA
yeah.
they took the vowels out. They changed the vowels. So if you
Hmm.
change the vowel of something, it's not the same thing. Because we have vowels, they just use vowels in a different aspect. So
Right.
to vow to something means to be devoted to it to some extent. So your name is also a mission, or the mission's in your name. But if the spelling ain't spelled right, you ain't gonna have the right vowels to it, so you ain't gonna understand what you're going through. That's how deep
Right.
this thing is.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I pull out a book. I said, let me find a book to go like to fan myself, and it just
Uh-huh.
happens to be an occult dictionary. Ain't that crazy?
See?
Uh, that's
It's
wild.
confirmation.
It's right there. I can't even see. I just randomly went down there and picked up a thin book to make it a fan.
Confirmation.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you know we rocking with the real deal over here. You talked about it. I pulled it up. But yeah, these words, it's just crazy. But they all like always call themselves trying to interpret something for us. We have to tell them what our language means. It's crazy.
No, I'm not never gonna tell them that because then you want to know too much.
And they
We
can
don't
use
know
it.
none of y'all stuff in y'all secret society, so why y'all want to know our language?
Yeah. Their language, it's all actually a offshoot of them translating the Medu Neter. Like it really all started. There was no language and all of that before Kemet. Kemet created language on the planet. I mean, other tribes had, of course, we were communicating to people and all of that and this and that. They had those deeper tribes in there. But we're talking about coming into the golden age. You know what I'm saying? Different ages. And that civilization had dedicated themselves to the excellence of doing the work in all the sciences and whatnot. So that's why we have a lot of things we have. We wouldn't even have the English language without the Medu Neter. That's a fact.
That's why I keep trying to say. That's why I said. Now, what happened with that? The Anglo-Saxon recreated, and they went in and they messed with a couple things.
Bastardized. Yeah, because they also got a hold to. Remember, they had the library that got burnt down. Was it
King
the
Solomon, they
library?
got in King Solomon's library. The Templar, the
Right.
Knights of Templar got in King Solomon's
The
library.
big giant library. They burnt that down, and that had a lot of our science work.
They burnt down some of that stuff, but they also took a lot
But
of
they
it to the
also kept
Vatican
some.
Temple.
Right. They also kept some or whatever. But it's crazy because that's actually what the Vatican is built on. You know, keeping that information hostage
Secrets.
in their catacombs. They say they got some books that's so old that they keeping down there that you can't even touch them or it turn to dust.
Yep.
Some of our shit. It's our
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't have nothing that old. They're not even that old on the planet.
Oh, they only 6,000 years old.
That's crazy.
Either 600 or 6,000. One of the two.
It's 6,000. He said 600. It's definitely 6,000. Well, when you are part of the Nation of Islam, and I was for 15 years, you learn all that information. It's called the science,
And that's
and you
crazy. I never
degree.
been part of that, but I know people around it, and I figured things out on my own. It's so
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. The actual science is dope. It's definitely right and exact. It goes by mathematics, so
And
they
they
call
mat
it.
not longer than our mat because they ain't been here long enough.
No,
So
yeah,
that's the thing. They mat cut off now. That's why all this happening.
right.
They at the
Yeah,
end point of they mat.
it's crazy, but
What
that's
they call it? The square. What they call it? The root square number.
yeah, the pi,
They
the
going
root,
back to the
square root,
square. They
square
going back
root.
to the square now. The square root.
They
They're
caught
going
in the
back to the
square.
square
They're the
root.
ones that made the square. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're going back to
Absolutely.
the square root.
That's why everything is squared. All of our houses is square. Everything is square.
Because they couldn't understand the circle. They couldn't understand the cycle. So they used the square to slow it down because of they six, not a nine. So they had to slow it down.
Yeah, those points are slow down entries.
But you see,
Those
if
big
you put
corners.
attention and if you put that six and a nine together, you'll actually get you get a circle. You'll
That's
get a
yeah.
circle.
It's
But
like the yin and yang. Yeah,
they don't want
absolutely.
that.
They don't want to show that neither.
Nah. But I'm gonna show you something else too. The
Hmm.
if you ever look at the Virgo symbol, it it was once the Pisces and Virgo, it has the Pisces on the end of it, meaning the Pisces and the Virgos was once one. They used the Pisces and the Virgo to create the church. That's what they did.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know they were both together.
Yeah, you got if you look at the
Pisces and
Virgo symbol,
Virgo.
you'll see the
The
Pisces
symbol, yeah, the
on at
same
the
little.
end.
I actually was looking at
Yeah.
that not long ago.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. I was curious. I was like, why is that like that? And I did some research on Virgo and Pisces. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so they use these to create the church. They use the
I don't
feminine
even look at
energy.
those wheels. I don't even use that, but I do have one that I'll share. It's the Egyptian wheel, the ancient Egyptian zodiac wheel. It's a
Interesting.
little different. It's almost the same, but it's a little different than ours, the actual symbols
Uh-huh.
and whatnot. Yeah, because they changed it when it got to Western astrology, and they have like there's the numerology system, And for the numerology system, there's two different ways of counting up the numbers that they took, that's our system that they hijacked.
Of course.
Yeah, always the
You gotta
hijack.
remember they had to because everything happened in Egypt or whatever the case is. So they had to come to the scholars over there. They had to come to the scholars over there because everything was happening in Egypt. That's where the Greek learned and everything, and then they create their philosophy. And then that's why they say the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west.
Right.
Because they got all their knowledge from the east and they took it to the west.
Yeah.
So we rose up in the east and they took what rise and set it in the west. So that's why the sun rises there last.
Mm, that's what's up.
But
I
people
always.
don't,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
No, go
People
ahead.
don't pay attention to the knowledge and they don't understand what happened is, and I tell people this all the time. America was first. America was first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you why America was before Africa. Africa is glued to the land. It's the only piece of the land that's glued to the earth. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the only piece of land glued to the earth, right? This is Africa. This is
Everything
the
else
middle of the
shift.
earth, right?
Yep.
Everything else that's created was pushed out, and
It's
Africa was the
shifting.
last thing created. So that's why it stuck to the earth. America was the first thing created. So what was last shall be first and what was first shall
Or the
be last.
first land mass that actually broke off because Africa can't break off, it's tethered to the
No,
earth. So but everything else is like on plates. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Africa
shiftable.
is the middle. So the
Shift,
middle ain't
yeah.
gonna break off because the middle is like the core. So what
Right.
I'm saying is America
Break
had
off
to
at
be,
the end.
think
Yeah.
about it. Everything was a volcano or something had to erupt to create the earth. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
erupted to create the earth, and it started in the middle of that water, which would be the core, it would be America would be the first because it's so far out to the west. So I would
Yeah.
think everything pushed off to either the east or the west. It pushed off and then started gradually growing. And Africa was the last piece of landmass that was created, so it became Africa.
I
But
see. Yeah,
that's
that's
how I see it. Because
that's
look at it like this: when you pour juice, right? When juice
mm,
pours on the floor, right? What happens? It spreads out, right?
yeah,
So if we're in water and landmass is being created, and that's cooling down. It's spreading out. It's just cooling down.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
how I see it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good diagram rather. Yeah. I mean, that might be how it happened because they're definitely saying that Egypt is over here. This is Egypt.
But look at it.
They
Think
certainly
about
got
it.
it set up like
The
that. You got the
pyramids
Washington
are
Monument.
way bigger. They
Yeah.
way bigger than the pyramids in
I want to get
Egypt.
around to, I got to get a map of American pyramids so I can, our brother Ross Ben, you know about Ross Ben? Ross Ben, check him out. Look him up. Rasben. He's a Rasta, but he's from Philly. But he talks about history of the states and the statues and the different things. And he showed us ISIS everywhere here. The statues, where they
Yeah,
at. Well, he just showed us the Hopi water people, which is another story about these ships going down in the ocean. But he literally showed us the Hopi water generation. There's a big ass monument statue to them in some state here in America. I want to say it's Florida. But yeah, so they're very aware of who we are before we find out.
of course. Like that Grand Canyon is very important. That
Yes.
Grand Canyon got a whole thing underneath that lead to other places and other things.
Mhm.
That's why they covered it up. And I believe that we did have giants here because look at how that thing so clear like that. You got
Mhm.
you can't tell me something. Man, something happened where we got a big old runway like that. And the water was probably really high up. I believe the water was higher up at one point in time.
Yeah, sea level definitely was higher. For sure.
Something was going on. Someone created, something happened. And the dude that had discovered that tunnel way back, I think it was in the 30s or something like that. When he discovered that, you never heard from him again. I think they got rid of him.
That's just
You know
like the,
why?
what to call it? What?
When they find these people, and think about it, all these people that had that knowledge and new building stuff like that, the reason I think they get rid of them is because other people can ask them questions and the info can be passed off. So they want to get rid of you so that nobody else can get that info.
Yeah, especially when you discover something. Just like what do they call that? The Bermuda Triangle or whatever. Well, come to find out, there's a big ass crystal down there that is literally a pyramid. But
It
they,
draws in. It's a
mm,
portal.
yeah, and they can't mess with it because that would really mess up the earth.
I got a
You
good
know?
one for you. Have you
Mhm.
ever heard about that what was it called? The Philly Project? I forgot what it was called.
Philadelphia Project. Yeah, I
Project,
heard about.
yeah. You ever heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
The
It's
book on that,
crazy.
how
So, yeah.
time travel from one portal to another portal. You went from one into the next reality. AKA that
Right.
means all this
Hold
stuff already been here.
Let me see what they talk about, what they say on here. It's called the Philadelphia Experiment. I'll share
Yeah,
this
the Philadelphia
screen.
experiment.
Yeah, that was off the chain. Yep, there it is. Boop. Let me share the chain screen.
That's why I say time, presence, and future, present, and past, all that has already exist before we got here.
Let's see. The Philadelphia experiment was an alleged event claimed to have been witnessed by an ex merchant mariner named Carl Allen at the United States Navy Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in Philly. Sometime around October 28th, that's my son's birthday. This is crazy.
Hmm.
At October 28th, Allen described an experiment where the U.S. Navy attempted to make a destroyer escort, the Eldridge, disappear and the bizarre results that followed. Yeah, so they went into this portal. Allen's account of the event is widely understood to be a hoax, but several different and sometimes contradictory versions of the alleged experiment have circulated over the years in paranormal literature and popular movies. Now they trying to, you know how they give the information and
They
then they
try to
put you
downplay it so that way
look,
you
then they
don't
put
think
you
it's
back
real.
in the matrix down here. They said it happened because if it didn't, they wouldn't have posted there. But yeah, so that's what that is, people. So like you say, you gotta study, show yourself approved, look things up, research. Don't be afraid to use that Google. You guys are all walking around with a supercomputer in your phone. You can do so much stuff and learn so much things. Like we could go on and on with the show because we both know a lot of information. So yeah, we're gonna save the rest for next Sunday though. We're
Hmm.
gonna save some for next Sunday though. But yes, we're gonna wrap this up and definitely, like we said, you know, each one teach one. Don't give up. Know that things are set up against you, and when you know that, you can work different.
Right.
You know. So peace and love to everyone, brother Rizzy.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Next time, next Sunday, we're gonna have another interesting topic because we know, everyone have a wonderful week. It is Sunday. Get ready for this week because they know they love to hit y'all on Monday with some crazy. It's a pattern I've been following. So get ready, y'all. Have a
What
good night.
happens on Monday?
Peace and love and abundance. Uncle Jasaneb, most of all, Ma Keru, for real. Yes. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.